Hello and welcome back, students. It's time for yet another Adobe Illustrator lesson. In this project, you're going to be taking the knowledge that you gained creating shapes and get to put that to the test creating some creatures. You can create a monster, a robot, an animal, a fictitious something. However, you are going to do it all with the shape tools. Starting out in the home screen, I'm going to click New File and check over here the size I want to work with to begin. I've got 8 by 10 inches, so it's a portrait-sized canvas. So the canvas is a portrait-sized canvas, and I'll go ahead and click Create. If you followed the workspace lesson, the bonus lesson, the extra credit lesson, you'll have a workspace like this. If you did not follow that, you might want to go back and work with that now. However, in the meantime, I'm going to jump in and start creating my creature. I think it will be easier to concentrate on the design of the creature before I put in the color. So I'm going to make the entire creature be white, which is the fill color right here, and the stroke color is black. So I'm just going to begin with that. Here I'll go to the rectangle tool and let's just think about, well, the body of our creature. It might want to be a rectangle or perhaps a rounded rectangle or even a circle. It's easy to think that your shape is transparent, but it isn't. It is actually white. Remember, clicking away or unselecting looks like this, and clicking on something to select it, change its color, or move it looks like this. I think I'll save these two shapes for later, so I'm going to click on them and move them over to the left. Now this area out here is called the pasteboard, and if you want to change the color of it to white, here's how you do it. Under Illustrator, you find Preferences, Illustrator Preferences. Go over here to User Interface, choose that choice, and then where it says Canvas Color, well, the canvas is actually white. That's this part. They're calling this outside area around your canvas color, but in any case, you'll want to choose white right here. It's probably on something else. If it's not white, click white, and you'll be set to go there. Next, I'm going to move my circle, and I'm going to keep this illustration fairly simple and use just a few shapes to get you going. Remember, click away and click on something. And also remember that a lot of times you've got to remember to come back to this selection tool. So here I'm going to click on the corner. I could stretch this oval. If I hold the Shift key while I'm pulling, I can make it larger and keep it a perfect circle. Now I'd like the very outside outline to be a thicker color, so that's up here, thicker. Make the black outline thicker, and I like that. So that's 10 points. Next I'll make an eye. With the ellipse tool again, I will click and drag, and you can see that the thickness of the outline on this is the same as it was just a moment ago when I changed it. If I want that thinner now, I can either click and choose a thinner stroke. This is known as the stroke weight. And I think that looks good. And if I draw another circle, click and try this. Drag while holding the Shift key. And if you do that, you'll be making a perfect circle. Pick up your mouse finger and then the key. And I think I'll stop there for a second and change a couple of things. So at this point, I've put my two extra shapes out here, and I've got some circles. And if I click, I can move the circles. They are filled with white. And this one I want to have filled with black. And I'll change the fill color because it's selected and because this little fill chip is in the front. If I click the black chip here on the swatches panel, now got a black shape. That looks good. This guy might look familiar to you. I don't know. I'm going to continue here drawing This is an interesting tool. It's called the rounded rectangle. And what you can do with this one, and see, there it is again. It's making it filled with black and stroked with black, but I want it white and black again. So if I want it white and black again, there's this little button here to make it white and black. And as I've been saying, there's many ways to change these settings over and over again. Here I'll increase the thickness up to 10. There it is. And now I'd like to show you with a rounded rectangle. I'm going to move this up. There are these little circles. These are actually on regular rectangles too. But those circles are handles, and they let you curve and uncurve your rectangles. These little handles. The bottom corner lets you make the shape smaller. And here is my first little arm, or yeah, I think leg piece. All right, with this selected, you can do a copy. Edit copy. And then you can go up here to edit and choose paste. There's paste. Now you have two of these. 1, 2. All right, so something's already coming together. Making new shapes, copying and pasting shapes, and moving shapes from front to back and back to front again is something you should practice in this lesson, and you'll probably need to. So I'm going to move this leg up a little and show you how I can put it behind the creature. One way to do it is to look over here in this thing called the Layers panel. We'll talk about this more soon, but for now, if you click this little arrow, you can see that the thing you are working with, the thing that is selected, has this blue dot by it. If you click away, check it out, no blue dot. If you click on this, you can see which one is the blue dot, and you can pull it underneath your biggest circle, which is probably right here. Yep, that was it. Another way you can change the stacking order, in other words, putting an object behind another object, is to select it and then either control click on the mouse. If you have a right mouse click button on your mouse, you can use that. And this menu pops up. The fly out menu is now open, and I'm going to come down to arrange and choose send to back. So now it's behind everything else. All right, let's see. Let's make a couple more little rounded rectangles here. And these, I feel like they should be thinner. I'll make the line thinner here. And again, move it over. Control click or right mouse click, or go to the Layers panel and arrange. And here again, we can send it to the back. I'm going to try to copy and paste now. Edit copy. The piece that's selected is copied. Edit paste. The piece that's pasted is not in back, but maybe I like it like that. It kind of gives it depth and dimension. What if we want this leg back up to the front? I'm going to right mouse click on it or control click on it and find arrange, and now bring this piece to the front. And you can see in the Layers panel, when you do that, which pieces are jumping to the front and back. All right, this is looking kind of cool. I think I will copy again. Now, wait a minute. Do I really need to copy again? What happens if I just paste? Edit paste. Hey, there's that shape again. So when you copy or cut something, it's going to stay on your clipboard until you copy or cut something else. So if you do edit paste again, you'll have another one of these. And let's say I select this front leg and I do edit copy. So I've just copied something new. If I do edit paste, it'll paste that shape again. And here is edit paste. And it'll keep pasting that until I copy or cut something else. All right, let's talk about rotation. I'm going to select these little shapes and move them. I like to move things out of the way of other things. It makes it easier to maneuver. And using your regular selection tool, we're not drawing anymore. We are going to rotate this shape. Here I'm rotating it. It's kind of sticking here. And this one, I think I'll move it over and find or navigate near the corner and rotate. So I'm sure you can come up with a lot of great ideas using all kinds of different shapes. Remember, you can click on your shapes and resize them. You can create other shapes as well, such as, here's a star tool. I'm going to create a star. There's my star. And I think it's kind of big. What if I want to start again? Press delete or backspace. Here's a small star. And I want this star to go in the eye. If I click away, there is this little funny handle on here. Uh-oh, now we're in trouble. I'm going to make it 4 pointed star. This is an automatic star handle pointy changer. And I also think I wanted to have no outline. So here is selecting the outline control, and I wanted to have none. The white box with the red line through it, guys. The white box with the red line through it, and again, you can see it here is the white box with the red outline. You have to make sure you know where you placed that shape because it's all white now. In here, I'll move that guy over. All right, I think you know what to do. Go ahead and begin drawing, and if you need to rewatch, if you need to rewatch the tutorial again, do that. I'm just going to wrap up the little guy here with a couple of more square shaped rounded rectangles for little fists, and do edit copy and edit paste. I'll click away and click right in the middle and move this over. Here's something I think that you would like to see. I'm going to find over here, was on rounded rectangle, I'm going to find the polygon tool. Choose the polygon tool and do a single click, and then make sure that I have 3 sides for my polygon. So if this is 6, you'll want to change it to 3. Click OK, and here's a little polygon. And then that little triangle, I'm going to drag it and make it rotate itself. And then look at this crazy thing. This is the zoom tool. I'm going to choose this zoom tool and click. You're zooming in. And I'm clicking a couple of times on this little triangle and then switching back to the regular selection tool, the black arrow. And there's a little circle on this that I can use to round this. Now I think this line is a little thick, so I'm going to bring it down. Yes, you're going to have to practice. In fact, I think these legs here, I'm going to click on one, hold the shift key, click on the other, and make them less thick as well. That's good for now. Back to the triangle, I'm going to rotate it a little bit flat here. And you can see it might make a shoe. Here is an interesting tool we haven't talked about at all yet. This one is called the direct selection tool. If you choose it, here it is. It's the white arrow. It's on the right, not the left one, but the right one. And then click away first, and then creep up to just this vector, this line. You can pull this shape out. It looks kind of crazy. I'm kind of surprised it's doing this, that it has this extra part, but there it is. And go back to the regular selection tool and see what you can come up with. There's a little shoe. To zoom out completely, you can double click your hand tool. So here I'm going to try it again. I'm going to click away. Again, I think these shapes should have a thinner line. I can always make it thicker again. This is at 6. Here's the number 6. How about 8? There's 8. Click, hold the Shift key to select more than one thing with the Shift key. All right, and there's 8. And here comes a triangle again. So it's Polygon tool. If you're not sure how many sides your polygon has or is going to have, you can just click and drag and look at it. And if it's not the number of sides that you want, you can delete it. Click a single time and change the sides to 3. Here's my triangle. And then it's back to the selection tool. You can do it. Rotate this so it's kind of flat. Okay, switch to this guy here. This is the zoom tool. I'm going to zoom in a little on this. Zoom tool. Regular selection tool to round these corners. And then what happens if I use the direct selection? That's the white arrow here, the direct selection versus the selection tool. The direct selection lets you click on a line and it's doing something different. So it looks quite a bit different. But if you click on these points and move them around a little, you can make another shoe. They don't have to match, do they? All right, maybe you really want them to match. So I'm just going to put this one over here. Switch to the regular selection tool again and click my first shoe and then do edit copy, edit paste. So he can be cha-chaing this way. You could rotate his shoe. You could also flip it and rotate it. So he's got some crazy things going on here. You can move the pieces and parts and rotate them. Okay. Oop. If you make a mistake, edit, undo. I undid the corner radius by accident. So I'm going to move this one back, and here is this guy doing some weird little tap dance or something. All right, that looks great. I am going to stop here. Double click my hand tool, that's fit in window. So we are done for now, and our black and white creatures are coming together. However, before we leave, last but not least, it is very important to save your file. So I'm going to save mine in my computer, on my computer. File, save as. And I'm going to call my file Jed. Oops, all caps. Jed. The dancing eyeball. All right, my friends, enjoy creating. That is all for now from me. And I will see you in the next lesson. Have fun.